edition of the Enlightrepreneurs podcast on Corona-proofing your business. I'm here with my partner, Justin.
What's that?
And also with Zemo Trevathan, a consultant, a good friend, and a former podcast guest. Hi, Zemo.
Hey, good to be here with you guys.
Yeah, it's good to see you again, even if it's virtually. It was certainly fun sitting next to you. This is the next best thing.
Yeah.
So Zemo, again, thanks for coming on and sharing your perspective on the proper perspective and approach and tips for Corona-proofing your business and responding to this moment. So let's start off, first of all, tell us a little about what you do and the type of clients you work with.
Okay, great. I'm an executive coach and leadership trainer. So for 26 years, I've been working with formal and informal leaders, teams, organizations around the globe. I currently have projects at Citgo Petroleum, AstraZeneca Pharmaceuticals, Residential Services Incorporated here in North Carolina, just to give a contrast. They take care of adults with autism-related conditions. And so basically anybody who wants to be better at what they do and who knows that they need to bring their people along with them might have me come in to help them do that.
And you've been doing this for a while.
26 years.
All right. I guess we call that a career.
It's the only one I've had.
That's what you know. And I also, you're as I know you personally, and also as you, it was obvious from the podcast we did, you're also a man of ideals, perspectives.
Man of heart.
Man of heart.
I have been accused of that.
Okay. Well, you wear it well.
I love it. I love it. So what are you seeing right now? What do you think people need to be doing to respond, stay nimble, stay flexible during this time? What would you say?
Great. Well, I know this is a brief injection here of a podcast, so I'm just going to go right to the point. Having listened to your podcast with Tom Ferguson this week, which was fantastic, and highly urge listening to this to listen to that one. And Tom was so full of amazing and inspiring practical advice. I'm going to give basically the exact opposite advice. I think every truth has an equal and opposite contradictory truth. So I'm going to say that the most important thing to do right now is to give up.
Give up. Okay.
Give up.
What do you mean by that?
Surrender. It's if anything has come along in my lifetime to remind me and us that we are not in control, this is it. We are not in control.
Yeah. So what does that actually look like? What does that actually look like? What is the balance there between continuing in your good work and then also maintaining a posture of surrender and
acceptance, receptivity?
Yeah. How does that? How do you navigate that line?
I'm still figuring that out myself. It's definitely a life work, but it's somewhere. This is what I know, guys. That we scurry and we try and we grasp, and we collectively as people, at least in our culture, we think it's about us and we think it's down to us, and we think it's that whole sense of I've got to that we in most of the time. And I've spent most of my life living in it myself, and I can hear it and feel it in others. That's the thing to be given up.
Right.
Give up that paradigm and relax back into, you know what? I'm going to trust. The verse is here, solid, and I have a safe place in it. If I can slow myself down to there, the scurrying and the trying, that's when the very clearest actions come to me. That's when I know most deeply what there is to do and what matters.
Yeah.
So let's combine those two seemingly sides of the same coin there. With Tom said, don't give up. Tom said the important thing is keep working. There's going to be a shakeout. As long as you keep moving, you don't get depressed, blah, blah, blah. And I know that this sounds like you're giving opposite advice, but so you're put those together. Put those together.
Well, I mean, I can just tell you about my day yesterday. I had a very high contact day yesterday. Checked a lot of boxes off of my list.
Digital contact, to be clear, right?
Yeah. Right.
Okay, right.
You didn't kiss a lot of babies yesterday.
Exactly. All by phone, all by email. and patting myself on the back. I'm doing it. And right, like with about an hour left in the day, it suddenly occurred to me that I'd missed about 40 or 50 opportunities to actually connect with people because I'd communicated to them.
Right.
And a couple of them actually took the spirit of it and came back and thanked me for a word that I'd said or something. But for the most part, I realized I'd just gone through an entire day in scurry mode.
Yeah.
I know what to do, and I'm going to do it, and I'm going to connect those dots. And what I'm learning now, I'm in my 50s and getting wiser, is the more that I do that, the more things I set in motion that just get in the way of what the universe is really trying to provide for me and what the universe is really asking me to do. And so then finally in the last hour of the day, I sat down and it was like, who are the few people who really most need to hear from me right now today? And it was less about who do I need to contact and who do I need to, and it was more, who am I here to serve? And, well, just one example that came to my stepdad, my mom died a year ago. And, he's alone. I'm going to talk to him in a month. And I was like, that's who I need to talk to. And I put down the email and I put down the laptop and I called my stepdad. And, he was sitting in the park alone and he was like, all of his Kiwanis stuff is canceled. And I was like, oh yeah, that's it. That's there are people that I love. There are people that rely on me. And if I am busy doing the things that I need to do to struggle and stay alive, and
Sure,
I lose track of them.
I think there's a big differentiator between the busy work and what is actually essential. And sometimes the essentials, and I mean that in the truest sense of the word, essence, right? Like the essence essentials. I think there are some very essential work to be done right now. And so it's not a matter of necessarily just sitting back and not doing the work, but it's what work are we doing? And I hope that this can translate on the other side of coronavirus to us making better choices about the essential work all day, because that's what it should be.
Yes. And I think that there's something in the heart of that, how you just said that, Justin. That was a great answer to what Dave had just asked in terms of how do we deal with that apparent paradox between don't give up, do all the right things, and stop. And somewhere it's a matter of integrating both of those into our day. That every day there's this process of pause and reflect and be in touch with essence. Stephen Covey called it important versus urgent.
Yeah.
Something in my day that essences to me to what's important, not just what is occurring as urgent. So over time, I can develop this rhythm and this balance of operating with efficiency in the things that I'm choosing to do, but pausing and reflecting often enough that those choices of what there is to do are coming from the bigger picture and not the smaller dramatic picture.
Yes.
Yeah. And there's something here that Justin and I have been talking about. The first thing I think is just being connected to people like you and Justin. There's something about having that, even though it's so critical to stay connected in the right way with the right people. And there's something that keeps opening up as you make those choices to talk to your stepfather versus just, checking off people off the clients. But one thing that I've noticed as well is there's a new reality out here. Literally, it's not just a new reality at the grocery stores and, and to the when I think about giving up, when I hear giving up, it's just giving up my old way of doing things. Giving up my days are moored now because I'm not going to yoga when I go to yoga. I'm not going to the store when I go to the store. So there's a disassociation or, whatever you want to call it. And in that, there's the opportunity. And that what I'm giving up is the old ideas I have about what it is I need to do. And I think this is really what you're pointing to.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Evolve.
Yeah. I love it. Okay, what else as we're wrapping up here? I want to make sure that we're delivering some awesome value for people who are going through some really hard times right now. So what else would you say? Anything else that you'd give as a piece of advice for navigating these seas?
Yeah. Sit and enjoy your morning coffee. Actually drink it.
Taste it, feel it, smell it. Yeah.
right. Kiss your loved ones.
Mm-hmm.
Sing. You know, this is it. Right now, this is our life.
Mm-hmm.
Start after the coronavirus goes away. This is it. This is what we've got. So be in our lives now.
I love it.
Wow. So that's beautiful, Zemo. We will, you know, it's hard for me to kind of bring my mind back to the practicalities of do this, don't do that, don't get fat, you know, kind of stuff that sometimes we do. But we'll get you back on and talk maybe some of the more some of the more discernible stuff. It's easier to I'm trying to think of how to say it in the right way. Let's say practical. Some of the more practical stuff another time that you're sharing with your Fortune 100 clients as well. But it's just seeing your beaming face and seeing that here's someone right now who's actually happy in his day. That is as important as anything else, that all the words of wisdom that you've given as well.
This is the face of somebody who just lost 2 months worth of revenue because, my business has ground to a halt.
Yeah.
All right. This is it. I just lost 2 months of revenue.
Look at it. And it's a real smile.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Thanks so much, Zemo. We really appreciate your generosity of spirit.
Yeah. Good to be with you guys.
Thanks.
Thanks.